This is 210 Local Music Podcast. We bring art, music, and entertainment to you straight from the Alamo City in San Antonio, Texas, where the culture of our past and the innovation and creativity of tomorrow collide. We're there. You can find us online at www.210localmusic.com, on Twitter, and don't forget to like our fan page on Facebook. Here's your host, Mario Zamaron.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 6 of 210 Local Music Podcast. This week I interviewed Phonolux. For those who aren't already familiar with them, they formed in 2005 with a very unique format that we'll get to talk about during the interview. But they've recently changed that format and recruited a new bass player, Armando Mora, and very recently released Feathered Fortress, now on Reverb Nation and coming soon to iTunes. The link will be on our webpage, 210localmusic.com/6 for episode 6. I'm very excited to bring you Phonolux.
Hey, this is Buddy with Phonolux, and you're listening to 210 Local Music Podcast.
First of all, let's start with who you guys are and what do you do?
All right, I'm Miguel Romero. I play guitar in Phonolux, and I sometimes thrash around on stage.
My name's Armando. I'm a bass player and just joined this band 4 months ago.
Dave Novak. I play the drum set, and I don't know. Yes. I'm apparently not very eloquent today.
That's all right.
My name is Buddy, and I play the piano.
All right, and that's not always the way it's been, right? As soon as, like listening to your older stuff, I downloaded the first 2 albums on iTunes and everything. From what I gather, you guys were a kind of a Chinese fire drill kind of a band, right? Everybody played different instruments.
That's a kind way of putting it.
Yeah, I heard that on stage you would like finish a song and then everybody just, oh, okay, now I'm gonna get on the drums, I'm gonna get on the vocals.
Right, yeah, we used to, since at the time we had, well, I guess R wasn't writing songs, so I'd say 3 songwriters, me, Buddy, and Dave, and yeah, basically whoever wrote the song kind of had first dibs on whatever instrument they wanted to play. And everybody else would just kind of fall into place. We found that format, while it was kind of visually cool and we really enjoyed it, it's just on stage it just takes too long between songs, and it's just kind of like this awkward silence on stage while we're switching instruments and stuff. So we decided to just nix it, I guess around this time last year, right?
Something like that.
About a year ago, we decided to just kind of stick to our own instruments, stick to one instrument, I should say, because Dave plays guitar pretty damn well. He gives me a run for my money for sure. And Buddy plays drums very well, and I play piano very well as well. So we just kind of decided to all stick to just one instrument, and it's worked out pretty well. I think it's been fun.
We all stuck to our worst instrument.
Oh yeah, we did. I'm definitely.
He's a better piano player. I play the drums. That's what I primarily play, and Dave plays the guitar.
I play the guitar better than I play the drums.
So we all chose the worst instrument for us to play.
Well, I play bass, so...
Yes.
Mondo's a good bass player.
Yeah.
That's why it keeps us in check now.
It's going to be the first comment on the next album is, the bass lines are so much better.
Honestly, like, dude, I joined because I thought I'd learn how to play the trap kit.
Yeah. That's what y'all did in this band.
Well, so you definitely find that, like, let's say from point zero a year ago compared to now, do you feel that your songs have become more solid, that it's a more realized kind of a thing, or are you still experimenting at all?
I don't think we're going to stop experimenting, but as far as who plays what, I think we found a solid place on where we can all perform really well.
Awesome. Well, I know reading a review that Puro Pinche San Antonio did on, I believe it was not the initial release, the second release.
Oh, the Natural Fire?
Yeah, that it kind of, they were like, oh wow, it's cool that they swapped their instruments. How did that, like, by your reaction, I could tell that you had read it.
You read the last review they did?
Oh no, for Feathered Fortress, not yet.
Yeah, they just did a review for Feathered Fortress and they hated it.
Really?
So I guess it wasn't our first negative review. They didn't like Natural Fires. I don't remember what they said about Natural Fires.
I didn't even know they wrote a piece on Natural Fires.
They did, because I saw it the other day, but I didn't read it. I thought it was positive.
Oh man, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Well, no, I mean, they said it was good. They just
the last 2 albums they didn't like.
It sounded like they thought it was lukewarm.
I mean,
I think they paid enough attention to at least review it. I respect that. They could have just ignored it.
No, yeah, but I definitely feel like, I think the last album was just kind of, lukewarm is a good way to put it. It just seemed like we were all kind of just in a rush to just get the album done, and we were producing it ourselves completely, not in a studio, so that kind of sort of...
I think this is the part of VH1 Behind the Music where the screen goes to black and white. Really confessional.
So I'm like, who's OD'd before what?
Yeah, exactly. There was just something that didn't work on it, and I don't know why or whatever. We thought we had something cool, and I liked the material we wrote for it and whatnot. But for some reason, even me personally listening to it afterwards, I was like, that's cool. We did what we set out to do, but
it just didn't turn out the way I think we all hoped.
Yeah, that's all it was. It just didn't turn out the way it's planned. And as far as people and their reviews and commenting and whatnot, I mean, they could say, great things. Kern has said nothing but great things about us, and other people have said nothing but great things about us, and it's not like we have a million fans from that. You know what I mean? And so my point is, a great review does what it does, and a bad review does what it does. I mean, so what? We're just keep trying to do what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just downloaded the albums from iTunes the other day, and I actually really enjoyed the first two releases. I thought they were awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on Feathered Fortress, though, especially if Hurricane is that taste of the difference in the sound. I got to say, you guys really, that's a very heavy song. To me, it's a lot of things. That's why I asked the first thing when I came in. I asked where you guys had filmed it, because it to me seemed like you guys had filmed it on a train, in a little,
that's cool.
And that you guys were like the engine of the train that just made the whole thing go.
That's exactly where we filmed it.
That's right. That's the right answer. Well, you got it. Finally, somebody figured it out. We should have filmed on a train.
Because it really does feel like a powerhouse. I love Hurricane. I've watched it several times, probably several hundred times by now. I had my wife watch it, and my wife's she's not into the scene. I'm like, go with me to Girl in a Coma. They want to meet you. No, she's like, you hang out with those girls too much. Don't calm down.
Hurricane is definitely the heaviest track on that album, I'd say.
I think it's the heaviest one we've recorded.
And all together,
the toughest. Because me and Dave have talked for years now, I guess, about what it means to be tough. When you say a song's tough, and I think we achieved what we wanted to achieve as far as toughness with Hurricane.
Oh yeah.
And heavy is another word that you toss around.
And heavy, yeah.
And heavy doesn't necessarily mean just loud cymbals and distorted guitars.
No. It has that heavy emotion. Yeah, exactly.
And that came across, and we were going around for a while as far as what to do for a video, and then Mondo had joined the band, and so we just thought, just a simple performance video where we're just rocking out
in the back of a train.
In the back of a train.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it was very well produced. If I didn't know better, if I just turned on, well, not MTV, they don't play music anymore, but if I had just turned on a station that played music videos, I would have been like, these guys have been doing this for a long time.
Cool.
You sound very polished. That song just sounds amazing.
Well, we have to give a lot of credit to Public Hi-Fi in Austin, because man, they have just amazing facilities for recording. It's just
not only
awesome.
but our engineer Brad Bell was just fantastic.
Yeah,
he was incredibly helpful to us. That was the first time that we'd gone into any kind of studio atmosphere and not kind of the ones driving the train per se. Yeah. He was the one.
Yeah, thanks. I'm like,
He well, let's just start over. Now, Brad was awesome, and I think I owe a lot to him in terms of how the whole record turned out, sounding.
Yeah.
So how does one get a hold of the rest of the album? Aside from checking it out on Reverb Nation.
You can come get it at shows.
Yeah, Hurricane, or the EP?
The EP.
Yeah, you could buy it on Reverb Nation. I could send it to you, though.
Oh.
I'll send it to you. If you just remind me as soon as you leave or whatever, I'll email it to you.
Are you guys in process of? Yeah, are you in process of getting it on iTunes?
We are. We're on that waiting period. I think it's 4. We have another 4 weeks. It was like 4 to 6 weeks or something to go through Reverb Nation to get it on there. So
that time it's okay. Sorry.
That's doing its thing. But for right now, this second, you can buy it on Reverb Nation.
Okay.
If you go to our store on Reverb Nation, it's for sale there for $5. Or you can go to shows, and we're putting together a little package deal, like where we sell a shirt, and you get our EP for free, and a poster, and a button, and a sticker, and all this.
Awesome. So have you guys decided on the pricing of the shirt? I know that was a question that was put to
we're gonna
Twitter.
do it for $10.
$10.
$10 for all the stickers.
$10 for everything.
For everything.
Oh wow!
Together.
Full
So if
pack.
you buy your shirt for $10, you get the free EP and sticker. And
Oh,
You
wow.
get to take Miguel out on a dinner date.
I'm sure once we lose enough money, we'll hike up the price. Once we do a couple of shows and we're pissed off. But for right now, everybody will get it for $10.
That's very awesome. That's one of the other things I love about local music is that nobody tries to, we're just going to put it out there for $50. Yeah. I mean, I think that's something that I can definitely sense is different about local music here in town compared to Austin, for example, where
Definitely more about the exposure here than it is about the making money
Definitely more
or
about the music.
trying to be a certain way.
yeah, absolutely. So, kind of going back a little bit to the past, how long have you been playing music specifically? Like, what did you start with? What got you into music?
All of them? Like in the band?
Yeah, we'll go down the line.
Specifically?
Just specifically, just like, have you been in bands before this?
Yeah, I've been in bands. I've been in bands for as long as I can remember, maybe since I was 12 or 13, and jammed out with a band and shared the stage with Mondo before. When Mondo was in another band, always had a piano in the house. Never played the piano until a few years ago when we started messing around with Phonolux. Been playing music and messing around probably since I was, 5 or 6 years old. I still haven't gotten good at it. So I'm hoping I do. I'm not a real musician like Mondo and Mondo too. But like Miguel and Dave are. They can,
He's not like mine. Never mind, not like that.
Mondo, can you read music, Mondo? That's what I meant. You can read music? Okay, well, like Mondo and Miguel are. Well, Dave, can you read music?
Yeah.
So, Miguel then. We'll say Miguel. We'll say Miguel and Mondo.
I can read music like I can read Spanish, extremely slow.
I'm not a classically trained musician in any sort. Just jamming out and picking up stuff and writing songs, and I try to convince myself that I'm a songwriter, not necessarily a technically advanced musician.
So, who do you think musically was the first one to kind of put that bug in your ear?
My dad, he's a musician, and he's the same kind. He played it. Yeah, he self-taught. He always had a piano in the house, and his dad would my grandfather would do stuff like at Mitiera and a place like that. He was in the war. He was in the army, and he made a bunch of army buddies, and they were musicians. And later on, when he was working at, as a dishwasher or as a whatever, he would always make friends with the mariachis and people like that, and they would bring back little, trios and bands to the house when my dad was little. And so my dad, I guess, kind of got into that, and he would bring back little trios and stuff to the house when I was little. And
Yeah,
so I
just
guess
kinda
but my
speeds
whole family's musical. My cousins had never played an instrument before in their life, and we put a band together, and I bought a bass and I bought some drums and stuff, and they had never played ever. And within a week, my cousin was playing the drums like he had been playing the drums his whole life.
That's the way to do it.
It was very weird. It blew me away because it took me a while to learn the drums, and he just sat down and he started playing. And my other cousin Alan started playing the bass, and it's just strange. We're a musical family.
Yeah.
None of us are incredibly good, but we get it. Like, we understand it. We understand music. We understand, singing how it should be and where you should be, and so it's cool.
Yeah.
I think that I'm finding that out a lot more. With a lot of bands are just self-taught. Hey, I just wanted to pick it up. I myself, I have 7 guitars. I would trade them all for a good drum set because I've been playing guitar since I was 13, but I suck. I suck so bad. And I recorded myself singing one time, and I played it back, and I told my wife that night, I'm like, I'm so sorry that you ever had to hear any of this. Just get me a drum set and we'll be fine. It's pretty sad. Miguel?
I picked up the guitar in 1999 and the piano in 2005.
I had time to think about
That's
it.
you've only been playing since 2005?
Piano since 2000. October 2005. I bought my first piano.
So that's almost. When did we get together?
We got together in
2007.
So you'd only been playing 2 years before that?
You just crushed
That's
Buddy's
ridiculous.
dream.
A year, actually, yeah, 2 years, yeah.
I thought you were playing since you were like a kid.
No. I dominated the guitar. No, I don't want to say dominated. Scratch that from the record.
Dominated the guitar.
I know I did because like after a year playing guitar, like I could play I was crazy into Metallica for some reason when I was 14. And
Who wasn't, man?
Yeah.
Metallica, Pantera. So I learned how to do like all those crazy sweeps and everything. So after like 2 years of playing guitar, like I trained, with like these crazy songs. So by the time I was 19, 20, like, I mean, I was really bored with the guitar, and I was like, well, I need a new challenge. So I didn't know anything about the piano, so I knew the chords on the guitar though. So like I went one note, boom, 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 boom. Okay, and then build the chords from there, and then figured it all out.
I did not know that.
And yeah, I played in a lot of bands growing up. Nothing really, we played like a lot of shows and stuff. Mostly played like parties and things like that, or just in the garage and jammed out. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I like music.
So who do you think put the bug in your ear to start?
Well, my dad worked for my dad as well, I should say. He worked for a lot of record labels growing up, for Capitol, BMG, Sony, CBS, Polygram, Rodvin.
And now?
Get us a damn
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Now?
What the hell? I didn't know any of
He has to know someone.
Not anymore, man. Anyway, come on, record labels are for the birds anyway. So, so we always had music playing in the house, and like always. That was what woke me up every morning. Was my parents would put on music, and that was kind of like, I guess, the bugle horn for the morning of everybody getting up and stuff when I was a kid. So she put on music, and we'd get up and just play all day, whatever. I remember those are like some of my earliest memories. So yeah, I mean, I remember going to concerts with my dad when I was a kid. So yeah, I definitely have to say it was my dad. Although unlike Buddy's family, nobody in my family plays any instruments.
They just had music.
I'm the only one who plays an instrument in my family. Yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, my dad's always been a fan of music, so.
Great.
Mondo?
I've been playing bass or guitar. I started by picking up the guitar when I was around 13 years old. So
I never looked back.
never looked back, man. I grew my hair out really long, wore Metallica shirts, Iron Maiden shirts.
Yeah, I really want to.
Pantera, like I was that kid. And
Freak.
yeah, I was a real big Cliff Burton fan.
Hell yeah,
Man.
So that's kind of what leaned me toward the bass. Was actually
Anastasia.
Cliff Burton.
Anastasia pulling teeth?
Yeah, I learned that when I was like 15.
I learned it. I learned all of pulling teeth.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the drum jamming part, wow.
Yeah.
I can't even make out like what it sounds. It's just All I hear is like the distortion on the wall.
And exactly.
Yeah, I think the trick is you just use all your fingers, just slam all the strings at once, right? And then, just let it wail. So who put the musical bug in your ear, though?
My uncle did. He's been playing guitar since he was a kid. So, and he was a music teacher. He plays for the Majestic Theater all the time. Every time they get like the Lion King or any sort of musical act, they always call him and say, "We have sheet music. You want to come and play? We'll pay you money." So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's awesome. So far we got family. Dave?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Same?
4 for 4, family for sure. Although I don't think they ever necessarily pushed me towards anything. It was more of a case of there were always instruments lying around, and I just started a habit of kind of just playing around with them, with whatever was around. Like there was a piano in my mom's house always growing up. It was a rickety old thing, but whatever. It worked, and I think the first thing I tried to figure out how to play was the opening riff on old time rock and roll. Is it Bob Seger?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Because I'm like, okay, that note's like that note. That's an octave. And I'm like, oh, I know how to play the piano now.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up, and I don't know, I was like 6 or 7 years old. I learned how to play the guitar around the age of 15, I think, 16 maybe, when I got grounded for a month.
Me too.
I got grounded. I couldn't leave the house other than school.
What'd you do?
And there was, what did I do to get grounded?
Yeah.
I think I got caught
Masturbating.
sneaking out in the middle of the night.
To go to a concert?
No, just to
Just to go ahead and
just to stir shit up.
I got caught smoking pot in the bathroom at school.
No,
I got grounded for longer than a month. I got grounded for 3 months.
I never went through a metal phase either. I'm hearing you guys are like all into metal.
I think it's a San Antonio thing.
It is.
I was never into metal.
Whatever, dude.
I didn't like Metallica.
You used to have really long hair, man.
I had longer hair
So you were into metal.
because I thought I was gonna get chipped.
That's the reason.
It didn't work. So I cut my hair off. This isn't working.
This is Dave from Phonolux. You're listening to 210 Local Music Podcast.
If you're interested in advertising with 210 Local Music Podcast, please contact me at 210localmusic@gmail.com. You can also find me on Square at www.squareup.com/market/210-local-music. So, I just got my hair cut this past weekend, and to most people, it's not a big deal. But to me, it means a 45-minute drive out to Leon Valley Barbershop at the crack of dawn. Why do I do it, you ask? Well, I've been going to this barbershop for 20 years now, and these guys are like old friends. Shout out to Dan specifically for putting up with my long hair, short hair, product, and me as a kid who just couldn't stop talking, even as an adult. If you haven't been to Leon Valley Barbershop, go give them a try and tell them that Mario sent you. So then the three of you guys are all from San Antonio then?
That's right.
Yeah, Dave's from Connecticut.
I grew up in Connecticut and I moved here in 2005. And one of the first things I did when I moved here, well, I think I got my first task was to get a car, get a job, and then to start a band. And once I got a car and a job, I started posting some listings to Craigslist, looking for a drummer. I was into finding a drummer that appreciated Dave Grohl and John Bonham. And Buddy was all over that. Thankfully, he responded to that, and we got together and we jammed. And soon after that, I posted another listing looking for a bassist, to which our original bassist, Art, responded. And Art was great friends with Miguel already, so Art brought in Miguel, and that was kind of version 1 of the band.
Wow, that's awesome. So some guy from Connecticut comes in to pull all these San Antonians together.
That's right.
Yep.
So what brought you to San Antonio from Connecticut then?
Part of it was just looking for an excuse to get out of wherever I grew up. I think everybody kind of feels that maybe once in their life. I just felt like if I didn't leave, if I didn't like actively make a plan to leave, then I never might. So I used the excuse of the girl I was with at the time. She wanted to go to grad school, and we chose San Antonio as Central Texas, I should say, as a place to go. She got into school down here at Our Lady of the Lake for grad school, and I said, oh, that's pretty close to Austin. So how about we live in New Braunfels? And we did for the first year, but I couldn't find any work in Austin. Apparently it's a very tight-knit community. Who knew? Yeah. And I ended up just getting a job in retail down here. And we just moved here and then kind of sealed San Antonio and locked it in for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys, at this point, probably all obviously have regular day jobs, 9 to 5s, or...
Not all of us.
No?
No.
I'm a teacher. I teach film at a charter school in San Pedro. Miguel used to teach there with me.
Please don't put that on the record.
But Miguel and Dave do freelance. I did retail forever. Models in retail.
That's what I do right now. Unfortunately.
So 2 of us have day jobs.
I escaped retail.
Yeah.
And then 2 of us are out there.
Yeah, retail's not
living
fun.
a dream.
Yeah, I did Target.
Fun.
Yeah, I did retail my whole life. I just got out of it. I just got into this place.
Yeah, Miguel and I are freelance audio engineers, and we, dabble in camera work and just general AV nerdiness.
That's awesome.
So, kind of going back to this charter school, how old do you have to be to go into this charter school?
It's all ages.
Old.
It's whatever. What's it called? Elementary, kinder.
But not like all ages.
Not all
like,
ages.
You're like 30.
I'm like, yeah, 34.
It's a school. No, it's the high school. It's a high school.
That's awesome.
Kinder through high school.
That's great. When I was in high school, they didn't have film. I mean, we barely had regular photography.
No,
Yeah.
I took theater. That's what I took.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
I took guitar, classical guitar in high school. Yeah.
I never took any music classes in high school.
I don't think I did
And then
either.
I ended up with a music degree in college.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of weird.
So you're using what you went for at school.
But
I guess for the work that I do, yes, to a degree. My school is more into music recording, and I still do that here in town. But usually, the audio engineering that I do is mainly for picture, so like news or sports or films.
So,
And do you have a company name?
For
Yeah, for
you can find my
sound.
studio if you look up Toastworks Productions.
Toastworks. Okay. Toastworks Productions. Awesome. Anybody else have something they want to plug as far as external?
Machina Cinema Productions
there you go.
Yeah.
for all your music video and feature film needs.
Awesome.
And short films.
And short films.
So do you guys have anything out that can be found on like Vimeo or YouTube or
Mostly
anything?
snuff.
Not all snuff.
Just Hurricane is the only one we're really pushing right now. We're trying to push
The
that
band has
single.
made videos in the past. We have 2 other formal music videos that we filmed, and we have a few live things, live performances.
Yeah.
for the older stuff.
Yeah, if you just, we have a YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you go to our Phonolux YouTube channel, we have all kinds of videos and stuff.
I think we're gonna do another music video for the first. I think we're gonna try to do a music video for every song on the CP.
Just to keep us busy.
Just to
Yeah.
keep things fresh with people.
Creative
and-
juices flowing.
Yeah. Until we can get this new album recorded and then start music videos for all those.
Well, hearing everything that you guys are doing, not only musically but sound production, video, and seeing your social media presence, I mean, you guys are really hitting on all fronts. I think you guys have got everything
We tried to.
geared up, and
That's the way to do it these days. Everyone's
Yeah, you
everyone's
have
looking at
to.
a screen now, opposed to
Yeah.
listening to the radio or
Yeah.
Yeah, the format's definitely changing for promotion. I mean, especially when you compare it to like the old record label model of promotion and things like that. Like everything's changing. Social media drives everything. Luckily, Dave and I we've been volunteering for South by Southwest for the past few years. And last year you didn't do the music. Did you do the music panels? You didn't. You did film, right? Oh no, that's right. You were driving. That's right. You were Secret Service. So the years before that, Dave was able to sit in the music panel, so he was able to come every year after he was done, and after I started volunteering as well, with just all these ideas from sitting in on the panels and working the panels and stuff. Just
I
of where
tried to unload like 1 week's worth of knowledge
in one email.
or in 10 minutes, and then you practice. Hey guys, why do you do this and this and this and this? And they're all like, what the hell?
Yeah, but it's cool because I mean you're talking to these industry, I mean leaders basically. That are telling you where the industry is going and how to promote your music in the 21st century, how to release an album in the 21st century.
so it's like workshops. That's
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah. They're panel discussions, and you just sit there, and your job is to basically make sure the mics don't feed back and make sure they're loud enough.
I mean, the room is normally populated by ticket holders and badge holders that go in and pay to listen to these people, but we found a nice back door in that
By volunteering.
you can just volunteer for the festival and watch the rooms, and then you still get to
absorb all the information. Wow.
So
great.
yeah, so we've been using that to our advantage as well. And yeah.
And you don't have to pay $1,200 for it all.
Yeah, exactly. And you still get to get into all the shows.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't been to South by Southwest yet. I keep saying, man, I'm gonna go.
You should volunteer.
I'll volunteer.
You gotta do it.
It's not a bad idea. Man, that's great. Yeah, I've been wanting to go, and I'm really hoping, like I mentioned earlier, that San Antonio becomes the new epicenter. And there's the big spill. The first one was last year. Do you guys, with that, do you guys see that opportunity for San Antonio to really grow and really start holding our own festivals and maybe hold our own with Austin?
It's gonna be a few years before we can hold our own at Austin.
Somebody told me, I don't know if it was Nina, I don't know who it was, that Austin's like the place where you party, and San Antonio is a place where you grow up, or like you up to 40 years old you live in Austin, and 40 and after you live in San Antonio.
So pretty much you come to San Antonio to die.
Yeah.
so I was gonna say we're Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of the two, between
You can retire here.
if you have to pick which one's Florida between us and Austin, it's us. And I don't say that trying to be negative in any kind of way, because I wish it wasn't like that.
So do I.
But it's because of everything. We don't have a strip like they have a strip. Not
Yeah,
only
we don't have a
6th
6th Street.
They have a 6th Street.
We have
and
St.
then
Mary's Street,
Fifth,
South
Fifth,
Congress.
5th Street and South Congress, and they have everything. We don't have one. We don't have one.
Well, I mean,
if you want to compare it to St. Mary's, there's 4 places on St. Mary's.
We have like 2 blocks.
And they're within. They're at the ends of 2 blocks, 3 blocks, maybe 4 blocks. In 4 blocks, they got 50 bars over there.
Yeah.
There's no comparison. They have Austin Film Festival and ACL and South by Southwest, and so when people say, "Man, how come we're not like Austin?" Yeah. There's a million reasons how come we're not, and I'm not harping on being negative, because let's be positive and let's try to change it. And let's try to. It's so much.
But yeah, you definitely have to start with acknowledging what, because I mean, obviously there's something that isn't working.
That's right.
It has to be acknowledged.
And one year I went to South by Southwest one day, and then the next day we had Luminaria here. I came to Luminaria. I went to South by Southwest, and I saw this cool band that came from, I think, New York or somewhere, and they didn't have a spot to play, so they just pulled out their instruments on the street of South by Southwest, and they were awesome. Nobody stopped them. Nobody complained. And they played a whole 45-minute set. I stood there. It was great. There's thousands of people. Is there hundreds of thousands of people? I don't know. There's thousands of people down there.
Ridiculous.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah, definitely doesn't. Yeah.
That was like on a Friday I was there or something. Saturday I come here to Luminari. This is a joke.
Yeah. 30 people?
No, it was a lot of people eating and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. Was there some light stuff? Yeah, there was some incoherent, weird, light art things going on. Were there some bands? Yeah, there were some bands playing on PA speakers about that big. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Again, I'm not trying to be negative. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish I could get in contact with whoever was in charge and ask why. And I'm sure they'd say
it's mentality too.
It's mentality. It's probably a money thing. It's not cheap to put on something like that. I know Rackspace was back in Luminaria. They probably will again this year. It just, because people were trying to compare it to the two, like saying, well, Luminaria is kind of like South by Southwest, so we're trying to do the same thing, and maybe they are, but it's
not there yet.
Just not there yet. Maybe one day it will be. But I've been saying for years, man, I wish San Antonio, I wish we could do that, just because I think we have so much content here. We have like a whole bunch of artists and creative people, and there's some really good music coming out of here, and the film industry seems to be booming out of here, and I wish we could get that kind of recognition and whatnot that they get. But man, I think that's a long way down the road before we can't even compete with them right now.
What do you think it would take?
I think we need to nourish the art community in general. I mean,
exactly.
We need to have better venues. I mean, for music.
All of that's true, but for today's day and age, which is the instant gratification, it would take the biggest movie in the world and the biggest band in the world to come out of San Antonio. And everything would flip like day to night. Mm-hmm. If the biggest band ever, came out of here and wrote a hit song and they claim San Antonio is their hometown and this is their tribe and whatnot, and a big movie, or what have you, everything would be different.
People will start listening to San Antonio. Yeah,
that band would be playing here. It would that big band would convince other big bands to come here. So all the clubs would have to up their sound and light and blah, blah, blah. And more big bands would come here. That's all it would take. Because, things like that happen over there in Austin with Richard Linklater doing Days Confused and Robert Rodriguez pulling up roots from here and going there. And, that just built Austin to what it is right now. Well, we don't have anything like that here. Biggest we got is, Girl Nakoma and being out that protest and Pop Pistol and man, they're trying. Girl Nakoma, I think, is the biggest out of those, and they're doing their thing, but it's hard. It's not very easy.
And they've even teamed up with Robert Rodriguez for the song in Machete.
For Machete, that's right. So they're trying. It's just, it takes something huge, I think, revolution style huge to turn San Antonio. If you don't have that, then it's going to take years of
Luminarias.
Slow and yeah,
but
slowly.
Like you just said, that's what Austin did.
Yeah,
Austin 25 years ago was not. It was definitely definitely a music scene there that was, I would say, probably better than anything that was going on regionally, but it definitely wasn't to the level that it is now.
But I think you're absolutely right. But I don't think it took as much of something that happened over the course of time as much as something like Linklater doing Days Confused and Slackers out of there. Like, I think that flipped the switch on it. When that movie came out, and Matthew McConaughey and Rory Cochrane and all those guys,
That's true.
everyone wanted to go to Austin. We want to go to Austin. They made that movie there. They made it for nothing. We can make a new movie there. Linklater still lives there. They're building a studio that 10 years later, it's huge. Austin's the shit. And the whole time, we're over here playing Selena, you know?
65 miles away.
Yeah, you know, we're over here doing, it's almost like a different world. Not for better or for worse, because I don't want anybody to think I'm saying anything negative, because I'm not.
Right.
I'm just saying, if
This
somebody
is the
asks
reality.
how they did it and how we can do it, I think that's what it would take. What do you think, Dave, being a newcomer and knowing both of them?
Man,
What do you think it would take to make San Antonio like us?
I mean, I appreciate that you think I have an outsider's view, but man, that is a really tough question.
Yeah?
I don't know.
I think you're right. A lot of it has to do with a really big band coming out of San Antonio.
A really big something.
It makes
Mhm.
sense what you're saying.
Something.
Because then promoters and like music producers, everyone would start looking at San Antonio
Mm-hmm.
instead of.
And especially if
going to
that
Austin.
band constantly came
Well, I mean, it's
Back.
it's the
Yeah.
same way Seattle just
turned into Seattle.
by what? By good
Nir-
bands making good music
Nirvana,
and
Nirvana.
creating a buzz.
and all that coming out of there. Everyone's like, "Oh, we got it. Seattle's where it's at."
And Seattle had been struggling for quite a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
you had bands that came out of there, Mudhoney,
Mhm.
you know, that had been grinding for years and years, and suddenly Nirvana comes on the scene,
But
changes.
when it became fashionable, like Nirvana started it and became fashionable, then like all the weird music Seattle was already making became the buzz.
The
And
buzz.
became, oh wow, that's interesting, new and cool, even though it had been there for years.
So I think it would take something of that magnitude to change it quickly. And if not quickly, then yeah, you just have to grind it out. But I really don't know if San Antonio wants it to become that. You know what I mean?
I've heard that from a few bands that we've brought up the difference between San Antonio and Austin. A lot of them are like, well, we don't want to be Austin. We want the scene, but we don't want to be just like Austin.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that I appreciate that this city is, you know, that I like about this city that I particularly don't like about Austin. You know, I'm sure that I don't like about a lot of cities. You know, this is home and it's different. And now people say keep Austin weird. That's weird. A bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
You know, sure, and I'm sure they think we're a bunch of weirdos. I mean, I'm just saying
No, they think we're lame.
they think we're lame. They're weirdos and we're lame.
San
That I
Antonio
have
lame.
heard. That I have heard as well.
But I understand that argument. I even for our band, we play shows here, and sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's been hard to get people into it. And we think we're doing the right thing, and we're well practiced, and we know what we're doing or whatnot.
Try to promote as much as we can.
Try to promote as much as we can, and let's say it doesn't work out. And we play a show in Austin, where we don't really know anybody.
We can't promote it. We don't
And
really
can't
promote it.
We don't.
But people
don't
just
really
show
have
up
needs.
because people go out to the shows,
And
and
they
then
already have built-in audiences, and people go to shows. It's what you do in Austin. You go to shows.
You go see live music.
Go
that you've
see
never
live
heard
music,
before.
and we have a whole different response. And we've only played there a couple times. And I say out of the 3 or 4 or 5 times we played there, say 5 times, 3 of them have been really good shows. Really good shows, where there's a built-in audience that we didn't invite, and everyone walked away saying, you guys are great. Where here, it's hard to get people to pay $5 to go to a show.
Yeah, how much is it?
That's
how
the
much
first
is it to
thing
get
out of
the
the mouth. How much is it? Really? Is really? So you don't even really want to go to a show. Like I really gotta.
If you have to ask how much it is, you don't want to be
You
there.
don't want to be there. I really have to get you. So when people say, "How come Austin and San Antonio?" You don't even want to go to a show, man. You didn't pay $5. You can't pay $5. Give me a break. So it's that kind of mentality, and it might just because Austin's so used to that. They're just used to, that's what we do.
And
they don't
now,
sit
nowadays,
straight.
people move there because of that reason alone.
Yeah, and I could see it. When I first went and hung out there and partied up there, I had a great time. And I came back, and I being a filmmaker, I would always say, like, man, I don't understand why Rodriguez took off to Austin.
He's from here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I went there and I came back, and I was like, I totally understand why. I mean, it was a blast. It's just different. It's just different.
Interested in being the focus of a broadcast? Contact us at 210localmusic@gmail.com or info@210localmusic.com. And don't forget to like our Facebook page.
This is Mondo from Phonolux. You're listening to 210 Local Music Podcast.
Well, like I said earlier, I think that lately you guys have really become a social media beast. I mean, I'm seeing everything, you guys everywhere. You guys are being tweeted, retweeted, favorited. You've got a lot of followers.
Nice.
Do you feel that with that, along with the music production, the sound production, the video, that trifecta, and that drive that you guys obviously have, and that focus that you guys definitely have, that you could be at that forefront of change? Do you charge yourselves with that at all?
Being the big band that come out of San Antonio?
Or at least a very large contributing factor?
I think it takes a lot of work. It definitely takes a lot of work, and we're not going to stop working.
Yeah,
We're going to keep doing and keep pushing.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel like I do it thinking like
that.
Like, oh yes, this is gonna change everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we just kind of do it because
we like making music.
I like playing music and I like writing music. And
don't get us wrong. If anything big happened or we were able to do anything on a large scale, that'd be awesome. Or contribute to change, that'd be wonderful. But that's definitely not the goal. Or when you say, do we see ourselves as that? I don't think so.
It's not why I wake up in the morning.
Yeah. We play music and we do music and everything because first of all, I think because we love doing it.
Yeah.
Or else why would you want to, life's too short to waste time doing something you don't love to do. So we really enjoy making music and stuff. And if it happens to get out there and the masses enjoy it, that's awesome. And if it doesn't, I mean, it does suck. I wish it did. But it's not the end of the world, and if we can contribute to anything large like that, that's great. That'd be awesome. But that's not our goal or nothing. I mean, if it happened, it happened. That'd be cool.
Well, I definitely think that's the right attitude to have. I mean, you have to be passionate about it, whether the end of the road is here or there. Mm-hmm. You have to be passionate about the trip.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
for sure. Do you know who Alan Watts is? He's a philosopher. That's what he talks about. He talks about
the journey.
Yeah, well, he talks about people. Hey man, this is deep.
You made me cry, man.
He talks about how life is always about getting to that next level and getting to that next place. It's like, oh, okay, and if I just get to that next level, I'll be happy and I'll be happy. He's like, well, if you live your life like that, then that's like the equivalent of going to a symphony just so you can hear the last note, the boom at the end, and that's it.
And you didn't enjoy it.
And right, exactly. It's like, and that's
it's almost a consumerist way of thought.
Yeah.
I'll be happy if I have this Blu-ray player. I'll be happy with the Xbox. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
Well, be happy with some beans tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think you kind of said it earlier when you said that in Austin you guys show up and the audience is there and everybody loves it. What do you think? Do you think that would be? Let me rephrase this. Do you think that they take away something that maybe San Antonio audiences don't take away?
Yes. And I've said it before, I'll say it a million times until it changes. It's the quality of the venues. Because you go to a venue like some of the popular ones here in San Antonio, I won't mention any, and you have a great band playing through a shitty PA system, yeah. So you can make a great band sound like shit that way. You can't make a good band sound better with a great PA system, obviously. But you can definitely degrade a great band by having a bad mix. And I think that's what it is. I mean, you go even to like any dive in Austin, and they have a decent sound system with somebody who at least has some idea of what they're doing behind the board.
It's like that's the first thing they think about.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And the last thing we think about.
And the last thing we think about.
Because I think in sometimes, or this could be the case, I'm not being negative, but I think they're concerned with bar sales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the first things on their mind, like the consumers, is how much are we going to charge for people to get in? What's going to be tonight's bar special? You know what I mean? Those kind of things. And then the last thing is, oh yeah, that's right, we have that band playing tonight.
We need to find some guy.
You know how to do sound? Come on, for
real? So I mean, I think when you go out to Austin, you go to check out a band, you kind of have the confidence that you're going to see a good band, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're going to see that band perform well because they're going to sound good through a good PA. Whereas when you go out to a show here at certain venues, and it's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to the show. Oh, but it's going to sound like crap. Okay, whatever. $5 to sit through this. And it's not a crappy set per se. It's just, it sounds like crap. The quality.
The mud that comes out of the speakers.
It's like muddy. It's not EQ'd right. And I think that is the biggest problem we have working against us in the San Antonio scene, is that the bars or the venues are bars first and venues second.
And I definitely have to agree. I come from a long line of going out to see bands live, and unfortunately I walk away, it would have been great had I heard what they were singing.
Yeah, all you hear is drums, bass, and like some like really loud, indistinct guitar and vocals that sound like this, they're buried in the mix. I mean, you really can't appreciate that. You wouldn't buy a record that sounds like that.
Right.
I mean, so why would you pay $5 to go see a band sound like that? I mean, I think that's half, if not more than half, of what the problem is.
So it's just.
But you got venues that are up in their game. Like, I mean, Sam's has always been a great venue to play. But 502, the Limelight recently just had a huge makeover. We just played there last weekend.
What do you guys think about that?
I liked it. I mean, the band sounded good. I mean, it didn't sound.
Yeah,
because I had seen shows at the Limelight, forever. I hated going there
because it sometimes
absolutely
in the past it sounded really loud. And
never mind the fact that it's loud.
This past time it sounded good.
Yeah,
it wasn't too overbearing. It just
clarity.
Clarity. You hear a lot of clarity this past time when I went.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's good to hear.
So I think it's getting better, but I mean, until you have venues that are popular and that are concrete boxes, with no insulation whatsoever. There's one in particular that I'm thinking about. Then it's not going to get better. And that's it. I mean, as long as that's the case, people are just going to go out to shows to get drunk and hang out with their friends instead of go out to check out music.
And as long as people are just going out to get drunk and hang out with their friends, the scene isn't going to change.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot on everyone's part, and I'm finding that it's harder to get into to play a show in Austin, right? That's what I found. It's tough to get a gig there. It's tougher unless you know a band and you're really good friends with them and they're willing to put you on their bill.
It's hard.
It's pretty easy to get a show here in San Antonio. You can call up almost any place, and you can get a show. That says a lot about, that says a lot about, the scenes, and then I think that says a lot to the audiences that go to Austin and they say, well, we know how tough it is, or the mentality is, we know how tough it is for them to play here. I'm going to stick around here because I bet this band coming up is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you got to be good to play here. Where here, you can go see anybody do anything because you just...
Because they needed to fill the night.
They needed to fill the night. Because you're just background noise. And they got the bartender who's bartending, serving drinks, doing your sound mix, coming back, serving... And again, it's not everywhere. It's not trying to be negative. We're just answering your question as honestly as
yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that. I've been trying to figure it out myself, and I think you guys really hit the nail on the head.
One thing that I think that made us really keen to this is back when we did switch instruments, it made it kind of a nightmare for the sound guys. It kind of pointed out how hard it is for a new sound guy, maybe a someone that's new to that field, in this city to deal with simple things like
to manage
keyboards.
a show like that. Yeah,
just simple things like keyboards. I mean, just to get one keyboard to sound good out in the front where people can hear it, it was like pulling teeth.
Yeah. Let alone 3 keyboards that we were using at the time.
I know. But
it was crazy. Man.
I guess what I'm trying to say is we've seen that recur for years now.
Yeah. And
it's become pretty clear that a lot of success depends on being able to sound good to your audience.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because just like Miguel said, you can make a great band sound terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely say, and I'm not going to mention where or who, there was a particular band that I love, and I've followed quite a bit over the last few years, and I took one of my friends to go see them, and he had never really heard of them. I'm like, dude, I promise you it'll be an excellent show. We go, and it was the worst show that they've ever put on, not because of them, but because of the venue, because of the sound, because of that lack of care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to the sort of thing we were talking about earlier with people leaving San Antonio, I mean, you can't really blame them for wanting to. It gets really frustrating. It gets incredibly, especially when you're the band on the other end. You're like, man, what's going on? It felt rocking on our end. The monitor sounded okay.
You think you're doing good and doing your thing, and then you come to find out later that it wasn't top notch, or a friend tells you, man,
I couldn't hear any
I couldn't hear your voice. I couldn't hear your guitar, and it's like,
when we're up there trying to be rock stars, trying to jump around.
try to give you what you paid for.
And each night's like a wedding. It's not like you can be like, oh, well, we'll go back up and do it all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a one-shot thing, so it's frustrating. It's frustrating, but there's some places, like we said, that are up in their game, and hopefully that's done enough to shine a light on the problem that other places will start thinking, hey, maybe we don't need a new, a jukebox or a new pool table or whatever. Maybe we can invest in some real speakers, or maybe we can hire, or we can work out a thing with the band where some of their dorm money gets taken to pay for a real sound guy to come here. Because those things are important. I mean, a place like the 502 that's fairly new.
Yeah.
It's garnered a lot of attention because of the great sound it has.
The lights too.
The great sound, the great lights.
Towards the end of the night.
And then the care. I mean, they're probably, besides Sam's, they're probably the first place that ever asked us for a stage plot. When we first played there, they said, hey, you'll have a stage plot. We did have one, and we had it on our website, but no place had ever asked us that. Probably because no place ever knew what a stage plot was. They didn't. So when they asked us, we felt relieved, like,
they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
We're going to sound
and
good
sure
tonight.
enough, we went there, we killed it. It was an awesome show. We're like, wow, how come every other place isn't like this? And there's a lot of factors. I mean, money, and it's tough to get sound guys. It's tough to pay them, and we understand all that kind of stuff. We're just saying we think that may be a contributing factor to it, and we hope that hopefully it changes.
So there may be continuing education for sound techs.
But we don't want to tell people that.
Yeah, no, I will.
They hate us.
Well,
I don't mind saying it.
Funnily enough, our former bassist is now in a position to train future sound engineers.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is the kind of guy you want doing that.
Art just got hired where I work at the school. And,
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's the sound engineer. That's what he teaches.
Teaching like studio production and things like that.
Studio production.
To high school level, which is amazing.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I went to high school and we barely had a good photography program.
Yeah.
Barely had a math class in my high school. Are you kidding me? Geometry was like brand new course.
What is that? Okay.
So what do you think?
It's Texas.
Yeah, land of the cattle, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think y'all's next stop is? What do you think your
The sky.
sky's the limit?
No, what do we have on the horizon? We have hopefully some music videos.
Yeah, we want to do
You said a video for every song on the EP.
Yeah, literally.
I wouldn't hold us to that.
Maybe one more
Yeah.
video for the EP.
For sure, one more at least.
That's what we're gonna do immediately. Past that, we're working on some new material. We put an importance to playing regionally, so not just playing San Antonio, which we do want to do a lot of, but regionally playing everywhere we can here in Texas, and then maybe a couple cool milestones ahead is we'd like to try to get into the South by Southwest to play a show there, or even Luminaria that we've never got to play at, or getting more fans, making good music. I mean, just the norm. We don't have anything crazy in our sights.
Yeah. With any luck, over the next few months, we're going to still be writing more material in addition to playing. But with any luck, hopefully by the fall, we're going to make another trip back to the same studio we recorded Feather Fortress at, Public Hi-Fi in Austin, and we'll begin to lay down an album.
To do a full album.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I definitely look forward to it.
That's going to be awesome.
I definitely look forward to hearing the entirety of Feather Fortress.
I'll send that to you.
Definitely, that's
You've
awesome.
only heard
I've heard a couple of songs off of it. I've heard Hurricane, and
because there's only 4 songs.
Yeah, there's that
Hurricane,
one.
Goodbye, She Don't Know, and
She Don't Know. I've heard,
and then He's Gone.
And then He's Gone. I've heard as well. Kind of something I definitely say that you guys are definitely hard to put a finger on as far as anybody that wants to. And I'm not a big fan of labels, but I know a lot of people are, and a lot of people say we're this, we're that.
Well, that's usually the second question. It's like, what's the name of your band? What do you guys sound like?
Yeah. It's like,
or what do y'all play?
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. That's the mentality that a lot of people have. I mean,
because then people just put a genre on something.
Yeah, they want to fit people in their own boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
What do you think? what category would you put us in?
I can't, and I wouldn't want to.
And I can never explain it to my friends either.
And I think a lot of bands, and I'm not going to put names out there or anything, they kind of corner themselves. They try to fit themselves in that box, and that's where they start to fail and fall apart, and then that's it. I think what you guys have, and what I'm hearing a lot more lately that's coming out of San Antonio, are bands that aren't afraid to break those walls or say, hey, we're not going to be put in a box. We don't need to be put in a box. Do you think that creates a new box? Do you think that creates a new type of music? Or is it just that ability to morph yourself into something that is above and beyond whatever we've thought to exist?
I don't know. I think in broad terms, I think whatever indie music is nowadays is expanding greatly, even in these last 5 years. Whereas before you might call this folk music, now it's also in this giant category of indie music.
Yeah.
Indie folk, whatever you want to call it.
Like
I'm not saying that's what we are, but I think there's a lot more liberty being taken in independent artists these days. Whereas, contrast that with the 90s. Everybody wanted to be alternative because that was the hot thing.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's completely the opposite. People are kind of just going out there on their own limbs and making the sound that they come up with and not really caring about
it not being labeled and it not being...
Has that been a conscious effort, or because of the musical experience that you have?
Yeah, I can't speak for anyone else, but I don't think we've ever tried to say, hey, let's play a song this way because it sounds like this, sounds more like this band. I mean, I know I've done the opposite. I'm saying, like, hey, this song sounds a little bit like blah, 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 so let's try and change it. So, because I don't want us to sound like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and sometimes you wind up going too far. I don't say like you, I mean like you, but like musicians in general, you wind up going maybe sometimes too far, and it is detrimental to writing music because you feel like you have to be between here and here, and that's a box right there. I mean, luckily we really haven't had any kind of thoughts about that whatsoever. We just kind of we just play a song. Yeah, Buddy comes up with a chord progression, and I try to fiddle around it on the guitar and
try to find.
Yeah, and we focus more on trying to find a balance between all the instruments more than anything, between what's happening as far as sonically. You know what I mean? We don't want it to be too busy if we don't want it to be too busy, and we don't want it to be too lax if we feel like it needs to be more upbeat or more, more hectic or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, no matter what the case is, I feel like whenever I'm contributing to the songwriting process, I'm always doing it in such a way that it would turn out to be music that I would just like to be listening to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think that says a lot. I have a friend that's a director, Ortiz Media, I mentioned earlier, and he looks at film the same way that you guys think about music. He says, I want to make something that I want to watch.
Ortiz. Brian Ortiz?
Rick Ortiz.
Oh, Rick Ortiz.
Rick Ortiz, yeah. He's often gotten me to go check out movies. He's like, oh man, you got to see this movie. It's awesome. And I'll go and I'll watch it. And I'm like, man, I don't really understand what I just absorbed, but I can't put my finger on it, but it's awesome. And he sees what I see in it, but then he sees this totally different aspect. And he says, that's what I want to do. This is the kind of movie I want to make. It sounds like when you guys approach your songs, you're like, this sounds good. This sounds like this will work. And earlier I came in and it seemed like you were working on something that maybe needed to be worked out.
Yeah, it's just an idea we just started messing with today.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
literally an hour before you got here.
Oh,
We
wow.
just started messing with that one little riff, and we were just working on a bridge right
Jeff
now.
forgotten already, just so you know. I'll have to figure it out
I think
again.
I got it. But we do it much more unconsciously than that. Sometimes I can come to the table with a little piano riff, and we'll just start going around the room and saying, one of the first things I'll ask is like, hey Dave, what do you think of this? And sometimes Dave will steer us right and say, it sounds too much like this, and it's all, oh damn it does sound like that. So we'll mess around like that. But besides avoiding trying to sound like somebody else, that's really all we really do. I mean, hey, well maybe we'll do this, and maybe we'll do that, and we'll start playing. And now, with Mondo in the group, Mondo, as such a seasoned player, Mondo gets it really quick and starts doing his own thing, and I'll hear like little itty bitty things he's doing. Oh, what do we do? So we really don't consciously try to do too much as far as what direction. Hopefully it just steers it. I think Hurricane was the only song that we brought to the table, and I was like, man, it'd be cool to do just like a tough heavy song just because we hadn't done it.
Yeah.
But again, we weren't trying to sound like anybody or break the mold of like, let's change Phonolux. No, I think we want to progress all the time. Whatever.
And we write what we feel too.
Yeah. Definitely. And writing what you feel and just always trying to progress, trying to grow and whatever. Because if you're not progressing, then what are you doing? But I think that's all the consciously that's all we do. And we don't really look at too much. And these guys listen to a lot more music than I do, like modern music. I try not to listen to a lot of music for that reason. Like I like the old bands that I like. That's really all I listen to. Over and over and over.
I'm like you. I'm stuck in the '90s, I think.
Yeah, I'm stuck in even before that. I just listen to I just listen to like classic rock stuff. And there's some newer bands, and I just got into Spoon. I'm not a huge Wilco fan at all, but I like some of their stuff. But I do consciously try not to listen to music because I don't want to screw up and
start writing
and then dig something and then I start sounding. You know what I mean? And it's probably silly. It probably wouldn't happen, but it's just something I kind of got myself into. So I said, well, I listen to Led Zeppelin and Radiohead, and it's probably all I'm going to listen to for a long time. Yeah. But that helps, not to sound like what's out there right now. And if we end up sounding like Led Zeppelin and Radiohead, well, I don't think that's too
there's worse things, right? That kind of I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I realized something the other day. I was kind of thinking back to when I first started writing songs. The second that somebody figured out what my song sounded like, oh hey, that sounds like that riff from Weezer or whatever, I felt really like oh, that's bad. They found me out.
They got me figured out.
So I think I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to listen to a little more obscure music now. Yeah. So that no matter what, since I can't help but copy music, at least I'll copy obscure stuff so nobody can figure it out.
That's right.
Well, I definitely have to agree. I think that's, and I think the fact that you approach things that way, where you don't want to sound like that, I think that is the key. I mean, I mentioned earlier, I own 7 guitars. I've played music since I was 13. I mean, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, that kind of stuff got me into it. Where I failed was that I wanted to sound like that. Oh, I have to get the Big Muff Pie because I got to sound like Smashing Pumpkins. And that's all I sounded like.
I think Big Muff Pie did for that.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I mean, not the Russian clone, right? The actual.
I got the cast iron.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, and I think I tried to buy everything Billy had. Yeah. Everything I could afford.
He's got a billion things.
But then I wasn't playing anything I liked. Like I was just sounded like that and.
It's very limiting, yeah.
But I sounded like that, but I wasn't as good, And there was already him. There was already the Pumpkin, so nobody wanted me. So I was like, damn it, I better find out what I sound like, and I better read her. So that was cool, like playing the piano because I had never played the piano before, and writing little riffs on the piano came so much easier to me than writing riffs on the guitar.
Sometimes it just takes a different perspective.
Yeah.
This is Miguel Romero from Phonolux, and you're listening to 210 Local Music Podcast.
There's something new that I kind of want to start on the podcast. A lot of people have been asking me about it. Kind of a gearhead section. What kind of gear do you guys use? Like specifically, what amps do you play out of? What?
I play a Ludwig drum set. It's this 1970s. What is it?
1970s Ludwig Classic? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
It's a nice.
I'm not much of a gearhead myself. I just know it's an old Ludwig kit that sounds pretty damn good.
Yeah, it sounds pretty nice. It's an old big Ludwig kit that we got.
I play almost exclusive. No, I do play all Zelgin cymbals.
Was that me and you, David, went to a bit, or was it me and you, Miguel?
You and Miguel.
Yeah,
we bought it from this guy who had
like 5 drum sets. 3 of them. Yeah, and 3 of them were like vintage, like really nice.
Wow, yeah. Really nice stuff. And so he took care of his stuff, and he liked that set. He's like, it's a shame I had to get rid of it. So it's a legit vintage Ludwig set, and it's held up nicely, and it sounds really good. And we were lucky enough to get a vintage Ludwig snare from our friend who happened to have one. So I bought that from him, and now we have that too. And so we have a pretty good drum set. I don't know what do you play, Mona?
As far as what bass?
Your gear, like what's your stuff?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still in the process of, my ears definitely gotten different over the years, and I want to sound differently than I did when I first bought my gear. But I have Eden cabinets, and an SWR head, and I play out of a Ernie Ball Music Man bass.
So what kind of sound are you wanting to go for on the next bass?
Something more natural, something more warm, like a warm sound. Not really so, because the sound that I wanted before was more, I guess,
Cock rock.
Crispy.
I guess you could say, yeah.
Crispy.
Yeah. I wanted more high end instead of low end on my bass.
Yeah.
I wanted you to be able to hear the clank instead of the way the note sounded.
Instead of the love.
Yeah, instead of the love. Yeah. I just wanted to always ram instead of actually make sweet love. You know.
So we know what you do to your instruments. Okay.
Yeah. Now. So that's what I want now. Something a little different, but
I'm talking about getting that ash down, right?
yeah. Yeah, I'm
That's
saving
nice.
up already for it.
For real?
Yeah.
Champion.
Yeah, I don't. No credit on me, man. I gotta just pay cash for it. You know.
American Musical, man.
They don't have that shit, man.
Really?
They don't. No.
No, yeah, Ashdown you got to get specifically from them
Through
or from
them.
a distributor.
Mhm.
Oh, that sucks.
So it makes it good.
Yeah. Whatever. What do you play? What do you got?
Miguel?
I play. Well, I played a lot of things over the years, but right now I'm using a Fender Tele.
It's a deluxe, right?
Huh?
Isn't your Telly a deluxe?
No. The amp is a deluxe. It's a Blues Deluxe reissue. The tweed cabinet. But what I like about this Tele is
Telly
that
has humbuckers. Though.
yes,
That's what-
it's got humbuckers, which is like really weird, and that's why I got it because it's.
I think it is the deluxe in Miguel, isn't it? It has humbuckers.
He's Mexican. but yeah. And
Yeah, it's definitely got a different sound than a Strat.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, it's got like it still has like that twangy Strat sound, but it's got more punch. Like it's got like that Les Paul punch, but with like the clarity and twanginess of a Strat. It's pretty cool. That's what I like about it. And then yeah, just various little pedals, like an overdrive pedal, boost pedal, delay. Yeah, that's about it. Keep it simple.
Buddy?
And this dude.
I don't know what kind of keyboard. I know it's a Korg. No, it's a Korg.
It's a Korg.
88 key, right?
88 key weighted Korg stage piano. It's nice. It's not mine. It's my buddy Nate's. He let me use it because he wasn't doing anything with it, and it's a really nice stage piano. I used to play with this Casio that was semi-weighted, but just the weight, like the literal weight of this thing, it's a monster. It's so heavy.
Yeah, you broke keys on that Casio too.
Yeah, I broke keys on that Casio. The Casio was cool, but it definitely, I guess, was more of a beginner's piano.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, use that. We just got
in the studio though, for our EP, we played what is it?
Upright Yamaha.
It was a Yamaha upright.
It's beautiful upright Yamaha. It's really nice for the EP.
And I guess someday it'll start making sense to bring real pianos to shows, right?
Yeah. Well, didn't they have
Yeah.
like a stage piano? That one that had casters and stuff. They had one there. Remember, like up
Where?
against the wall at Public Hi-Fi. It was a real
Yes.
piano that was built into like a.
It's like a sealed container, pretty much.
Yeah, and then you could close it up and you could take it on stage,
Wow.
But we're not there.
No.
We can't get people to pay $5 a seat.
We're not gonna spend $4,000 on a new
Yeah, no
piano.
way. And we just got a something I was really excited about, an RE20 EV mic. One of those. It's like a long one of those like radio disc jockey mics, and for vocals, and that's a really cool. That was a really cool investment for me. I like it. And I want to get what we've been wanting to get for a long time since I saw them in Austin when they came out was a Korg SV1, and I didn't really have a reason to get it because all I really do is play piano. But we just recently wrote a song where I'm playing like electric piano. I guess it would be like a
Rhodes.
And the one on there is whatever. I mean, it's an alright sounding patch, whatever. But like the SV1 has an amazing assortment of sounds. It's a really nice.
It actually has it's a digital keyboard, but it has a tube built into it just for overdrive.
Oh wow.
For natural tube drive, so it's pretty cool.
So it's really nice. So, but that's what I'm playing right now, a Korg 88 key stage piano. That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, guys, I know I'm kind of cutting into your practice time. Well,
Yeah,
quite a bit.
No
So I definitely appreciate all of the time. If you were to address the audience before you play any song or all your songs, or before you play a set, what would you want them to go away with?
Merch.
That's good.
Go away with the T-shirt.
Merch. Yeah.
Like if let's say you guys were a film. Let's say you guys were a movie, a film. What would you want them to say after leaving the theater?
I was just pleasured.
That's not bad.
This is going to sound kind of selfish, but I don't really care what people think about the music that we play, because I like it, and I like playing it, and I guess like if they dig it, I would want them, I would love for them to dig it, but if they don't, I mean, whatever.
So at this point, if you build it, they will come, kind of. And if they don't, well,
yeah,
you're still going to keep building.
Because what else can we do? I mean, we want them to go away saying we love that band. That was awesome. That was amazing.
Yeah, but we understand different strokes for different folks.
That's right. And if they don't dig it, they don't dig it. But I mean, we're up there, unfortunately, and maybe it'll change, but we're not the... It has changed. It has changed with Mondo in the group now, and him and Miguel have a different dynamic up there on stage, and there's a lot more energy. But we don't put on the biggest show that like other bands do. We no longer have any kind of gimmicks or lights or tricks, or we don't have anything, projector screen, nothing. Yeah. But instead of saying that, and I'm not saying that won't change, I'm not saying we won't try to get anything, but for the time being, but instead of using that as something negative, I try to look at it as something positive. As we're not hiding behind anything. We're not hiding behind any kind of gimmick, or let's all get drunk and party, or we pander. Is pander the right word? To a certain kind of audience, our niche, or no. We've got the music. That's what we've got. And we understand that in today's day and age, you need more than that to get an audience. And you need the YouTube music video presence and the social media presence and what... We understand all that. We got the music.
I guess it's kind of the old-fashioned way of doing things, but...
It is. It definitely is.
Okay.
We have... Where other bands have tons of flash and no substance, we are just the opposite. We don't particularly get too crazy on stage, or we haven't in the past. Our last show we just did, Miguel and Mondo were rocking out, and it was awesome.
Pulled my dick out.
But I think they do it, and anything we do up there, we do it because we feel it.
Yeah.
So that being said, if we're at a show and we're not feeling it, or Miguel's not feeling it, he's not going to do it. It's not like a gimmick.
A switch, yeah.
We're not putting... And I know a lot of people would say, you got the wrong idea.
We're going up on stage because we enjoy playing what we play.
That's right.
And you feed off each other rather than
and however
anything
we
else.
feel that Friday night at 11:42 at night playing that song, that's what you're going to get from us. Mm-hmm. Miguel may be up there and flip his guitar up in the air, and he might sit down and chill out. And maybe he's not feeling it. Maybe we are feeling it. It's not something... We're really not... We don't have a set rehearsed show to give you.
Yeah.
We have the music. So if you're vibing and you're giving us positive energy and we're feeling it, we're going to throw that right back at you. Be it if there's 50 people there or one person there. Well, if there's 200 people there and nobody gives a damn about us up there on stage, we're still going to do our thing and play the music because we love doing it.
Yeah.
But, it might be a different show than you saw somewhere else. Or, we don't have any kind of contrived thing we're trying to do to people, some kind of show or set piece or anything like that. We're just up there playing the music, so take away from it what you will. Hopefully you'll leave the show saying some great music. I had a really good time. I enjoyed myself. I want to buy their album. I want to be a fan of theirs.
Yeah.
And hopefully it wasn't because we were up there cussing and playing or doing whatever, putting on a show for you. Like I said, all that kind of stuff may change. We might start doing something or whatever. But that up until this point, that really hasn't been our thing. Our thing has been music.
Yeah.
We're up there playing music. We thought that's what this was for. We thought, you know, we write music and we rehearse and we get up there on stage and we do our thing because we thought you came to hear the music. And
as it should be.
If you wanted to come see us make assholes of ourselves.
You know, we don't rehearse that.
Yeah, we don't rehearse that. Yeah.
Can't get better at that.
If it happens because Miguel took too many shots, or Mondo flung himself off the stage, or I don't know.
I've fallen before in the past.
Really?
In different bands. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've fallen accidentally because I'm just.
But that's good. Yeah, we don't rehearse being assholes on stage. We rehearse.
We don't rehearse the show. We rehearse the music.
We rehearse
so.
the music.
Yeah.
But we'd like to. I mean, all that being said, we'd still like to have a better stage presence. I mean, that's not to take away anything with stage presence, because that's important as well. We try to communicate with our crowd and keep them into it and keep them going. But man, we hope you're there because you're a fan of good music, and we hope that's what we're giving you. And we hope when you leave, that's what you take away from the show is, I just saw a good band playing really good music. I'm a fan. I think that's all we could ask for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate the time. This has been definitely eye-opening. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, and thanks for checking out the albums, and we're glad we got you as a fan.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll see you. You think you're gonna make it out to the next show?
I'm gonna have to. I've got an 8.5-month-old son, so I haven't been able to see shows. Thanks.
Congratulations.
But I'm gonna tell my wife, well, hey, if you want the business to succeed, I have to go. I can't.
It's part of your job.
Yeah, exactly. I can't get a correspondent. You know,
right.
Hey, we're gonna go to our man on the scene. I'm the man on the scene. This is a solo show.
That's right.
If I'm not there, there's nobody on the scene.
Nobody on the scene.
So I definitely hope to make it out. To definitely hear you guys live, because I'm sure that's a completely different experience, and I definitely look forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, just check us out, phonoluxmusic.com. We have all of our shows, and anything that's going on is on there.
On there, on Facebook, on Reverb
Twitter,
Nation.
Reverb Nation. Yeah.
Twitter. We try to hit them all as much as we can without pissing people off.
Oh, I don't think so at all. And I'm gonna retweet everything I see from you guys. So
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
of course. That concludes episode 6 of 210 Local Music Podcast, my interview with Phonolux. And again, you can find them all over Twitter and Facebook, Reverb Nation, and YouTube. Look them all up. It's going to be the same websites /Phonolux on every single one. You can also find all of their links to their web pages and social media on our website at 210localmusic.com. And you'll also find their iTunes link as well. Once Feathered Fortress is up on iTunes, you'll also be able to access it from this very same link on our site. While you're at it, check out the other featured artists on our site and their iTunes links as well. A lot of great music. Be sure to like our fan page on Facebook and stay in the know by registering for our newsletter through the website. You'll get more great information and soon calendar notices for your favorite venues and artists. Thanks again for listening, and here's your featured artist again, Phonolux with Hurricane.